Well, it's been a little bit, and honestly, part of it is I'm kind of stuck. I've been off work. I'm trying to do whatever I can to keep myself a little bit busy in that sense, but at the same time, I'm also dealing with a lot of other issues. Not anything that anyone can really help with. Work has been one of those things that comes and goes. Contracts end, they come and show up again. So in the meantime, I like to make content, but that's where I've been stuck. I've been sitting here racking my brain how to find motivation to sit there and make content. I used to be able to sit there on a regular basis and actually do something cool and play a lot of games. I guess one of the hardest things about making content, well, part of that is you have to record it. So yesterday, I know I put up the replay of the Minecraft stream that I did over on Twitch. That was something that I was like, I was going to record a video in Minecraft and start talking about it. And I was like, why don't I just live stream it and throw it up there on YouTube and see what it does? That's where I threw that up there. I've done that in the past, but not to that extent. It's a very long live stream. Lots of things happen in there. Lots of fun, unique things. We're doing a Minecraft. Everyone's a content creator that's on it. So we are doing a lot of this as friends and talking, and it's a lot of fun in that sense. And that's a different style of content altogether, but it's not the type where I can sit there and make a video. What's going on? Well, temperatures reached down to minus 30s where I am. Can't really go out and do much. It's very, very, very cold. And I guess part of it is I've been very busy because we're also dealing with a kid that's out of school thanks to a strike. It makes it very difficult for when you have a kid that's special needs. So the extra attention has been there. That's where I've been. That's what I've been doing. I get time and again where I can sit there and take a little bit of a breather and actually make a video and record. So that's where I've been. The little bit that I've been able to actually do stuff, I've been live streaming with friends and playing Beat Saber and playing Minecraft and doing all those fun things. My Twitch channel, absolutely incredible. Today, as I record this, we've hit 500 followers. I'm beside myself with that. For YouTube side of things, that took almost a year and a half. For Twitch, it's the growth has been immense. And honestly, I do this out of a passion and a love for just enjoying and sharing my experiences with the world. That's why I make videos. That's why I talk about things. That's why I say, listen, there's a lot of things out there. But part of it is I don't know which way to really go at this point. I can continue with making stuff based around my furry self. I can dive back into newsworthy topics for gaming, which that puts me in a very negative space, and I don't like to be there anymore. I don't like that. I like this. I like to have a clear mind and just trying to enjoy things. Now, the other thing I can dive into is maybe we possibly start looking at how do I create this in the real world? How do I turn around and make something that reflects what we're doing here? Well, that in itself that's a monumental task in itself, because I don't even know where to start. I know, I've got a base sheet, I've got the avatar in VR, we've got everything laid out in front of us. But now how do I turn around and make this reality? That I don't know. That's where I reach out and ask. But besides the point of all of that, then you put posts like this and say, hey, listen, I'm looking for stuff, and then you get inundated with scams, and you get a lot of people sitting there saying, hey, We can offer you this thing. Just give us some info. We'll give you some free money, and you go out and do that. And 3 months down the line, they'll say, "Oh, that money I gave you, I'm refunding it back to myself." I've seen that scam a few times in the last little bit. And don't get me wrong, it is very tempting to take things like that at face value and say, "Hey, listen, I'll take the money, but you get nothing else. I'll put it to my bills." That's the other thing. I've got bills to pay. I've got things that I do have to pay. Being off work doesn't help that. Thankfully, I have enough of a savings right now that I can actually survive a little bit without work and just wait for the next job to show up. But in a lot of ways, that's money that I hope is earmarked for something else. There is very, very big plans that we want to do as a family, and it's a little bit tough to do that when you've always got to sit there and be off work and say, "Hey, listen, that money you put aside, I guess now you got to deal with that, and you got to spend it." So I've been a little bit more reserved on the money I spend, like I always do. Whenever I'm not working, I say, "Okay, listen, you don't really have spending money anymore. You don't do too much. Don't go crazy. Make sure your bills are paid, and then move on from there. If you've got anything left over," which anything left over just goes right back into the savings. That's how I work it. But then you sit there, just wanting to be larger than life. You want to sit there and do something more, but I don't know what. I mean, this is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. How do I top this? How do you top some of the things you've done in life, and then you suddenly step into something like this, and then you're like, you just have your mind get shattered. It goes to the cosmos, it goes out into space, and you just sit there and you go, "This is absolutely incredible." You try and make friends. You have some turn around and say, "No, we don't want to be your friend. You're too much. You're too much to handle." And I sit there and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm sorry. I guess I'll just move on and continue doing what I'm doing." But things like this is a lot more fun with friends, that's for sure. That's why I've sat there on Twitch more than I've done it on YouTube in the last little bit. It makes things a lot more entertaining and a lot more interesting, and honestly, I'm having a lot more fun. But then I sit there and I have these regrets. I sit there and I feel like I'm putting myself in a place that doesn't live up to the standards I've put in front of me. I sit here and, we're sometimes our hardest critics. We really are. The hardest critics is to please yourself. And in the last little bit, I gotta say, I've done everything possible to try and do something for myself and show it off to the world. And, then I sit back and reflect on that, and I go, "Oh, did I do something wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Am I not looking out for everyone else? Am I literally only looking out for my own?" I don't know. We've done a very lot of fun things around this channel, and we've done a very massive undertaking with the donations. We've raised so much money for a hospital. And now I sit here in front of you and I go, is it enough? Because it doesn't feel like it. I just don't know what's the next step. Where do I go from here? My goals have been completely derailed. At one point I was like, okay, yeah, your goal is to reach 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Well, 8 years later, you're sitting there going, "No, I guess that's not happening." Sure, that's a goal that I've had for a very long time. I tried to do 2 videos a day, 3 videos a day. I tried that for 6 months. We didn't really see, and then every once in a while I'll throw out a video that gains a lot of traction, and that video that gains a lot of traction, a lot of people like to hear it. And I just sit there and I go, okay, well, I guess I can be more real, And that's what I'm doing right now, is trying to be more real and just put it out there and say, listen, I'm in a spot that I don't even know which way to go. It's fun. It is a lot of fun. Being able to sit here, spread my wings, shake my tail, sway to and fro. It's definitely what I've really enjoyed to do. But to do that in a video on a regular basis now is... There's a lot of neat things out in the world, and I feel like I'm only scratching the surface as I float away. These are the qualms of VR. You deal with certain things just not working properly all the time, but that's besides the point. I know how to fix that, but once again, that takes a little bit of time and patience, and going back to work. Once I go back to work, then I make enough money. Once I make enough money, then I can spend more money on upgrading things even more. It's a real shame. It really is, that I have to sit there and worry about the outlooks, worry about so much more. I try to do whatever I can. I really do. Christ. I've been called lazy. That being called lazy in something like this is... you have to sit there and you shake your head. Because that, as many times as I sit there and I go, I don't know where you get the point that I'm lazy. I don't know where people got that idea. I work hard. I work up to 6 days a week. I do some of the best work in my trade, making some of the neatest looking paneling and cabinets, and as an electrician, I raise a family, and it's lazy to pick up a hobby. That's probably the hardest thing that I was told. Anyway, I'm just going to leave you with that. I am your proud Canadian Phoenix, Cindershadow. I'm signing off here. Have yourselves a great day. And don't forget to like and subscribe.